Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Morgan Supersport. Yeah, I know, I keep getting the niche cars to drive, don't I, at the moment, and I'm not complaining because, well, spoiler alert, this car's brilliant. This is the Supersport. It's Morgan's new or latest flagship, about a year old now, and a bit of a rethink from Morgan, because the company realised that as lovely as its cars are and as popular as they are, and famously there was a years-long waiting list for them, they were always the customer's third, fourth, maybe even fifth car. No one would commute in their Morgan, and not everyone was going to use their Morgan at the weekend. So to fix that, Morgan decided to try and make a car that could be the customer's second car. To up their game a bit, Morgan's come up with this. It's a fresh start. So it's got a roof, although this is an optional extra, carbon fibre roof that sort of fits in and makes it more like a coupe, and I think it looks really cool as a result. We've also got doors that have got, wait for it, hinges on the inside. Yeah, I know. We've also got airbags and we've got ambient lighting, and brace yourself, there's a phone charger. And it's wireless. There's also a sound system, although that is an optional extra that this car has. Sennheiser system that uses Bluetooth, connects to your phone, and away you go. There's no touchscreen, obviously. There's no CarPlay. None of that modern rubbish. When you're just cruising along at 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, it's nice and quiet. There's a bit of wind noise because the windscreen is flat and the side windows are flat. This car doesn't really care for aerodynamics. That's fine. And it's an automatic. Now, Morgan has been using engines from BMW for quite a while now. Of course, a car company of Morgan's size can't be making its own engines. That would be ruinously expensive. This one is a 3-litre straight six with a turbocharger and an automatic gearbox. Because, while it is quick, 335 horsepower might not sound a lot, but when it weighs not much more than a ton, it can do 60 miles an hour in about 3.5 seconds. It's properly quick. But for the rest of the time, when you're just cruising along, it's quite nice having an automatic gearbox. And it helps distance Morgan from Caterham. Now, Caterham's very much a hardcore car that you're only going to use a handful of times a year. Morgans are no longer that car. At least the Supersport is no longer that car. It's something you can get in and drive much more frequently, and it's all the better for it. One small criticism though with the gearbox is the paddles. They're awful, I'm afraid to say. They're really bad. They're like something from a PlayStation steering wheel. They're cheap and they're plastic and they wiggle a little bit. They don't click with much of a sense of occasion. They're just not very good. Everything else in here is lovely. I've got nice leather, although the extra leather is an optional extra. Seating position is good. There's quite a bit of room behind the seats to put stuff. The boot's pretty small. The boot's only really suitable for a couple of small bags, soft bags at that. And it also acts as somewhere to put your doors. Because this being a Morgan, you can take the doors off, or the upper bit of the door and the window, that slots out. And then you can put it in the boot for a proper open-topped motoring experience. Whoa! The wing mirrors come loose. There we go. Morgan things. And because this car looks the way it does, it gets loads of attention, but the really good sort of attention. No one's like flicking the V's at me or being rude or driving aggressively around me. None of that. No, everyone loves it. It makes me feel like I've just brightened somebody's day simply by driving past them. It is a bit noisy in here though. There's a fair bit of wind noise, even with the hard roof on. So the windows, as you saw when I rescued the mirror situation, the windows are just plastic and you just sort of slide them. They don't really close properly, they don't like lock. So yeah, there's a bit of noise. You've got a few different driving modes. You've got sort of normal, and then you can put it into Sport and Sport Plus. Now the Sport button's here, but that, as far as I'm aware, that doesn't do anything. So what you have to do is you put the gear lever over into sport, then we get sport mode, and it sounds more aggressive. And then you press that to get sport plus. Whoa! And it's really keen to downshift to get you going, and it sounds louder, and the exhaust gives some sort of pops and bangs when you lift off the accelerator, and it certainly becomes this quite raucous sports car. And the turbocharging of the engine, you don't notice it at low speeds, but when you get going, it's really turbocharged. I can smell something. Fuel, maybe? Just something getting warm, I don't know. I just love that it exists, quite frankly. I love that there's enough enthusiasm for Morgan for the company to be able to plough money into something like this that's actually quite a departure from what it was making before. While I'm parked up quickly, I'll just run through the interior in a little bit more detail for you. First up, it's actually quite roomy in here. It's quite spacious. I mean, yeah, I can still reach over and touch the other door, but it's actually quite accommodating, especially compared to my MX-5. The car is a bit bigger for sure. But yeah, there's a good amount of room here and room around the back as well.
You're just so the boys and my kids are like, what is this?
I don't know if any of that got picked up on camera, but this is just why Morgans are so much fun. Like, a couple of kids with their parents are like, wow, what's that? They came over asking me, and I thought, all right, okay, I'll turn the video off, I'll go and sort of have a chat with them, and they love it. You explain it's a press car, it's not mine. I find that really helps to sort of start the conversation, because they don't think, oh, who are you with a flash car? Yeah, it's just lovely. It really is. It's just a fun part of the job, getting to see some kids smile and say, come and have a look. And yeah, it's the kind of car that it just makes people happy. I'll quickly talk about the price while I'm parked up here. So 105,000 basic, and then this car has £30,000 of options on it, which is quite a lot, you know. So the paint, oak green metallic, £2,700. The wheels are almost £5,000 for the 19-inch Aerolite wheels. They look cool in a sort of Art Deco kind of way. I'm not sure if I would have them myself. There are loads of other options that are a little bit more conventional, but they're there if you want them. £5,000. The soft grain leather is a £1,700 option. The box weave dark grey carpet, which is lovely. Actually, I quite like that. It's a bit retro, isn't it? It's a little bit old-fashioned. £700. The walnut and aluminium on the centre console, that's just also really nice. And that is £1,500. The heated seats are £400. The Morgan wings on the headrests just here, nice bit of stitching, that's £350. The matte body colour on the dashboard is £700. The premium stereo system from Sennheiser, so we've got speakers in the doors, that is £3,700. The connectivity pack is £300. I think that gets you Bluetooth and the wireless phone charger, which I think is a must. £300. The hardtop roof, I was actually wrong. I thought that was about £6,000. It's not. It's £4,300. And the active sports exhaust is £3,100. But for 130 all in, it's an awful lot of car, I think. Yeah, sure. Some things are a little bit lacking. The windscreen wipers aren't very good. The air conditioning is okay. No CarPlay. These gear paddles, I don't get on with those at all. So there are a few things, you know, that you would like to have that this car doesn't. But it's just got character, hasn't it? You can't put a price on the amount of character this car has, and it makes you feel, it just makes you feel good about yourself. If you want more of The Next Drive, then check out our newsletter. There's a link in the description below, and if you click on that and subscribe, you'll get an email from me every Thursday. I'll cover a bit of information on our latest video, some behind the scenes on how our videos are made, as well as my take on the latest automotive news, and a curated list of things I think you should be buying. So if that sounds good to you, then click on the link in the description below and subscribe to our newsletter. I'll see you next Thursday. So on one hand, it can just potter around quietly, smoothly, in a sort of a dignified manner, and then stick it in Sport Plus mode, take control of the gears, give it a bootful, and it's absolutely savage. Yeah, you get quite a rumble from the exhaust when it's in Sport and Sport Plus, which I like. When you lift off the accelerator, you get like a bop, 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 bop sort of thing. Which, yeah, makes it feel a little bit more sporty. Because in normal mode, it's really quite well behaved. It's really quite civilized. Yeah, it's just a fabulous thing. And I think it absolutely nails the brief, which is, it's a Morgan that can be your second car. Well done, Morgan. The Supersport is a second car. that sounds like I'm damning with faint praise, but I don't mean to be. It's just wonderful. Well, that's just about it then. Thank you very much for watching. Please click like, click subscribe, and I'll see you on another video very soon.